Okay, so I am going to explain why I stayed in abusive relationships. And before I go there, I'm going to have a disclaimer. First disclaimer is I've been abused physically by 2 men. The last one, which was the artist, I never want to talk or see him again. Talk to or see him again. Don't wish you any bad. And as my friend Mike says, he got this from a song. You don't have to go away mad. Just go away. That works for me. Anyone else that I've been in a relationship with from the time I was 36 on, which that's from 36 to 47, that would be 2 people I was in a relationship with. So the artist, that's a no-go. Never, ever, ever want to see him again. Nor talk to. The one I referenced who, went through a lot of trauma, therefore he was very argumentative, wouldn't pick me up from school when he was mad, and I lived downtown at the time. We lived downtown at the time, where I was paying the $1,100 in rent. We have buried the hatchet. I do not wish any ill will on him, because, people can only give you what they have been given. So I forgive him, and we have a cordial friendship, and I believe he really does want to be a person that is understood, and we just weren't a good match. The way he expresses his anger and his insecurities and my insecurities were not a good match. So anyways, not mad at him at all. He has a wonderful family. I love his family. The artist's family, I can't stand him nor his family. So I just want to make that clear, because they all were liars. They kept a lot of things from me about him, his extensive record, his trips into mental wards and institutions. They just wanted to get rid of him. So they seduced me along with him. So that makes it hard when the family is in on the game. So anyways, enough of that. I just want to give that disclaimer. I'm not mad at him. The one that didn't put his hands on me. The one whose family I do love. So anyways, so why did I stay in an abusive relationship? Okay, first of all, there are certain things that I like in men. Like, I like men that like my goofy personality. I like men who like to laugh. And we did laugh a lot. And we did do a lot of goofy things and stuff like that. But as far as with the artist, it was very slow and methodical. And I liken it to, like, if you put a frog in a pot of hot water, the frog is going to jump out. But if you put a frog in room temperature water and then slowly turn the heat up, they will die, because they're not going to jump out, because they are conditioning themselves to the changes. So that's what I did. I conditioned myself to the changes. And manipulators and narcissists, one thing they don't do is they're not going to come tell you, hey, I'm going to use you, hit you, hold you against your will, lock you in the room over the weekend until you got to go to work Monday. Yeah, that happened to me several times. Steal your money, I'm not gonna, I'm going to take advantage of your insecurities, be hot and cold. They don't tell you that stuff because you'd go in the opposite direction. It's the being the frog in the pot. That's dangerous. So I'm the frog in the pot. I was the frog in the pot. So I'm going to look at my notes here. Yeah, so if someone tells you, I'm going to steal your money, I'm going to put you through hell. I'm going to make you think you're crazy. I'm going to gaslight you. I'm going to be emotionally unavailable. I'm not going to respect your boundaries. I'm going to go through your phone. I'm going to make you question every thought you have. I'm going to overtalk you. I'm going to embarrass you. I'm going to expose all your personal business. Just, if someone told you that, there's no way you'd be with them. There's no way. But there's several reasons that I did endure that. First of all, first reason, trauma. I've been through a lot of trauma in the military, just trauma. Okay. Low self-esteem. I always had low self-esteem as a kid. I used to laugh through the pain. I still laugh through the pain. I've always had a goofy personality, making the dumbest jokes ever because I would do anything not to feel that. So laughter is always a part of me. Not all of it is bad, but sometimes you have to really sit and think about what's going on with you. Then I cared too much about what others thought, and this is what I mean. I did not want to have another failed relationship, and that was the main reason I stayed, because I just wanted to work with him. I just wanted to be there. I wanted to do whatever I had to do to try to make it work, and it was never going to work because one of us was going to end up hurt or do 20 to life. And behind his assault of me, he got a strike. So now he has 2 strikes. I didn't know about the first strike. So now he has 1 strike left, and then he's done, just like his dad. So, wow. Sorry that happened, but I'm not going to erase it because I'm on a roll right now. The other is, I can't read what I wrote. Okay, I didn't value myself. I did not value myself. I did not put myself first. If I put myself first, I will probably be most likely. I will give you anything that you want. I will probably give to you. I'm not writing any checks to you, nothing like that. Clearing out my accounts. I'm not doing that. But emotionally, support-wise, I will be there for you. I mean, it's unequivocal, unshakable. I really am not the type to pretend like I like you. That is like very obvious. I don't go out of my way to be like, oh, I can't stand that, blah, blah, blah. I'm not into all that. I feel like it doesn't do any good. It's like, I always think, if I say this, is it going to make that person feel better or worse? And I always lean towards closing my mouth, even though it doesn't seem like it, because sometimes people can do without information. Like, if your breath stinks, I'm going to be like, don't get too close, because, and I'll offer you a mint, because I always have, what do you call those? Altoids, the cinnamon. I freaking love cinnamon. I love Big Red, so I'm a cinnamon freak. I always have mint. I always have Altoids. But if someone is like trying to make a good example of things that shouldn't be said, because it's better off not saying it. Okay, so if someone you know, or maybe you don't know, if you want to say something, like if they ask you a question, I'm going to answer it. You know, I'm not going to be like, if they say, oh, I'm sorry that I didn't call you back the same day. You know, I'm not going to be like, well, I can't stand you anyway. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that. Because some things are better left unsaid. If someone says something like, what would you do? Then I'm going to say something. But I'm not going to tell you, oh, you should leave her. Oh, you should throw him out, throw her out. You know, none of that stuff. Unless you ask me. I'm more likely to tell you. If you're calling me or telling me stuff about a person, I think that's your answer right there. It's you're wasting your time. I find if you're doing more hurting than smiling, then just dig the hole and throw the relationship in it. Because there's no point in wasting your time. Another reason, I wish I didn't write this like this. I was just like thinking really fast. Another reason I stayed was because I felt sorry for him, because he was socially awkward, in my case, socially awkward. When I'm with someone, I am not quick to leave them. So, I've always told people I was in a relationship with, because the hardest thing I ever did was leave my son's father, because I didn't want to have 2 kids and then just leave, you know, and that was embarrassing because I never wanted to be with him in the first place. But that's another video, peer pressure to marry someone that you don't want to marry. Same thing with the artist. I didn't really want to marry him, but he was like, well, he goes, what's wrong with me? I'm not as good as the other one. So I'm like, that's not it. I'm just tired of being hurt by people that say, oh, I want to marry you. I'm going to provide. I'm going to do this and going to do that. And it's always the same stuff. But he didn't have the capacity to do that. You know, this video is going to be a little long. So if you really want to get to the meat and potatoes of why I chose fragmented people, because I was fragmented. I didn't see my own worth. You know, I cared too much about what other people thought. I didn't want to be, and it wasn't a thing of, oh, I got to have a man, because I don't need to be, you know, linked up with someone to be happy. It's, and my parents always said, I always do better by myself. And that is so true. So true. When I'm not in a relationship, everything is just firing. Boom, 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 boom. And the men I chose, they put a halt to it, because it was like, they didn't want me doing better than them. In hindsight, they didn't want me doing better than them. But the thing of it is, if I'm what you call doing better, why don't you step your bars up for your own self, just for you, you know? But that's neither here nor there. So one of the things I love about the relationship now is he doesn't need me at all. You know, he never is like, hey, can I hold $20? He never asks me for money. Never, ever, 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 never asks me for money. Whenever we're supposed to go somewhere, and I'm like, well, how much is it? Because I don't want to take advantage of him. He says, do I ask you for money? I'm like, no. And he's like, okay. I said, well, I could pay for the food. He's like, I didn't ask you to pay for the food. So that is like so refreshing for someone just to like your company. Someone who's very smart and he knows so many things that he's like an encyclopedia. It just never ends. Never ends. And he was raised right. His parents were whole and complete. I can't even believe that he wants to be with me, but I can believe why he wants to be with me. But not in a stuck-up way. I think the reason he wants to be with me is because, 1, I don't ask for things. 2, I can afford anything that I want in my own income bracket. I don't call him, hey, can you pay for this? Oh, you get me some nails? Oh, can you do... I'm very independent. Like, sometimes he gets upset because I don't ask him. Like, I'll do things like by myself. He's like, well, why didn't you ask me? And I'm like, because I don't want to bother you with every little thing that I do. As far as, if I need to go to the airport, I don't need you to take me. It's just, he has his own life. I don't want our lives to be about him fixing everything that I do. I need to unscrew my own deficiencies. So it's the total opposite of what I was falling for before. It's like I have lots of space. He doesn't crowd me. He doesn't demand my time. He doesn't, he's always just very caring and concerned. And his life has shown who he is. There's nothing inconsistent in his life where it doesn't make sense. We all have our issues and things of that nature, but he's never yelled at me. We've had one disagreement, and that was regarding communicating something. But other than that, it's all just mellow because we're both allowed to be who we are. And that's fine, It's it's just very refreshing not to feel threatened, not to feel like I can't have my own friends. He's not like, oh, who's that? Who's your friend? Oh, you better not do that. What you wearing? You better not wear that. I wish somebody would say some stuff like that to me at my age now, knowing what I know about myself. No. Hell no. So, I veered off, but I'm in pain right now, to tell you the truth. So, but I really wanted to try to get this out there. I wasn't anticipating the pain I'm in, but it's just some people need to hear something from someone else that isn't their friend, isn't their family, isn't someone that's so-called, well, I ain't gonna say so-called, because I think we all have haters. All of us have haters. All of us. And that's why, for the most part, I don't believe in new friends, because it's hard enough for me to be vulnerable with people, even though this is a level of vulnerability. But this is healing for me. Very healing. And if I ever do have grandkids, I want them to be able to see what a nutcase their grandmother was. So if they're crazy, then they know where they got it from. They know where they got it from. It just trickles down. So, with that being said, manipulators know what they're doing. They assault your self-esteem. They slowly take over your life. And then after that, you don't know who you are. You don't know who you are, which is why I took the personality test to figure out who the hell am I today. I don't know who I was before. I know I was much more naive. I know I always wanted to make the person around me feel better. Didn't want to hurt people's feelings. Didn't want to say no. No is my first name. I will say no so fast because I don't want to revisit that conversation. If I say maybe is a coward's no. And I don't want to be a coward. So certain things are a maybe. Like maybe I'll wake up and feel good. That's a maybe. Do you want to come to my party? Maybe. I'll tell you no. And it's not because I don't like you. It's because I get drained. You know, I look around the room and then I start talking and then I have conversations and then I'm ready to go. I mean, I'm ready to go quick, you know, and that might piss people off. You know, like, oh, she's some stuck up. I'm not stuck up. I'm the furthest thing from stuck up. I got more stretch marks than there are roads in the United States. You know, that's just how it is. You know, I have so many flaws, you know. I'm not telling you all of I'm telling you I'm telling you about the ones that almost cost me my life. So, not putting yourself first, that can cost you your life. Not listening to your inner voice, man, that can almost cost you. I had the opportunity to listen to my voice, and I didn't, and it was the most traumatic experience I ever had as a 20-year-old. And that, along with Troy and Aaron's father, that catapulted me into a whole nother direction of self-hate, which I don't have self-hate now, but I always felt like I wasn't good enough. Even in high school, I didn't feel like I was good enough because I was not like the other girls that I admired. Like the other girls, they were built like brick houses, and they had they were popular, and they just were more feminine, and I just felt like I was so awkward and bony and just like a rail, you know. So I did have fun in high school. It just my senior year, I was just ready to go because I was like, I really need to get a pass to go to the restroom, and because I turned 18 in February, and then I was like kind of feeling myself like, and then, you know, before I graduated, I had to leave all my friends because my parents moved to Hollister, so that's where I had to go. So that's where I disappeared to after high school. Went to Hollister, went to Gavilan College, and I started a whole new group of friends, but it was hard leaving my best friend from the time I was 8 till I was 18. That was really hard. You know what? You just sit in your crate. It's crate time. I guess he thinks he told me. Who are you talking to? You're the most spoiled dog in the world. Got the nerve, the audacity to bark at me. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and go. Because this pain is really getting to me. And, yeah, so that's what people do when they're slowly getting sucked into an abusive relationship. It's very slow. It's not fast. It's the frog in the pot. Not the one thrown in the pot. The frog in the pot with the heat slowly turning up. Do you feel the heat? This is one time, if you feel the heat, you better get out. Peace, love, and light.